Murder thy grace in the middle of a word, and then stop again and start again, as if thou wert distraught and mad with terror?
Tut! I can counterfeit the deep tragedy. Speak and look back and pry on every side. Tremble, start, wagging of the straw, intending deep suspicion. Ghastly looks are at my service, like enforced smiles, and both are ready in their offices at any time to grace my stratagems. But what? Is Catesby gone?
He has, my lord. And look, he brings the mayor along.
Lord Mayor, the reason we have sent for you.
Here's the head of that ignoble traitor. Dangerous and unsuspected he speaks.
Oh, so dear I loved the man that I must weep. I took him for the plainest, harmless creature that breathed upon the earth of Christian. Made him my book where my soul recorded the history of her secret thoughts. How smooth he dabbed his vice with show of virtue.
Well, well, he was the covertest, sheltered traitor that ever lived. Would you imagine or almost believe, were not that by great preservation we lived to tell it you, the subtle traitor this day had plotted in the council house to murder me and my good lord of Gloucester.
What? That is so?
What, think you we are Turks or infidels? Or that we would, against any form of law, proceed thus rashly to the villain's death? But the extreme perils of the case, the peace of England, our person's safety, enforced us to this execution.
Ah, fair befall thee. He deserved his death. And you good lords have both well proceeded to warn false traitors from like attempts. I never looked for better from him after he once fell in with Mistress Shore.
Yet had we not determined he should die until your lordship came to see his death, which, now by the loving haste of these our presents, somewhat against our meaning hath prevented. Because, my lord, we would have had you heard the traitor speak and timorously confess the manner and purpose of his treason, which you then may happily have conveyed to the citizens, who may misconstrue in us and wail his death.
But my good lord, your grace's word shall stand as well as I had seen and heard him speak. And doubt you not, my royal princes, that I will convey to our dutiful citizens your just proceedings in this cause.
And for that reason we wish your lordship here, to avoid the profiting censors of the world.
But since you come too late on what we intend, yet witness what you hear we did intend, and so, my good Lord Mayor, we bid farewell.
Go. After President Buckingham, the mayor towards the old hall, hies him at all posts. There, at your meets advantage of the time, infer the bastardy of Edward's children. Say that Edward put to death his citizens, only for saying he would make his son heir to the crown, meaning indeed his house. Moreover, urge his hateful luxury and bestial appetite in charge of lust, which stretched to their servants, daughters, wives, everywhere his savage heart, the lustful eye, looked to make its prey. Nay, for a need, come thus far near my person. Say that when my mother was with child, that same insatiate Edward, my noble duke, my father then had wars in France, and my just computation at the time found the issue was not in his regard, which well appeared to Miss London, being nothing like a noble duke. But touch on this sparingly, as far off, because you know, my lord, my mother still lives.
Fear not, my lord. I'll play the orator as if the golden fee for which I plead were for myself. And so, my lord, adieu.
And if you thrive well, return to Catesby Place. There you'll find me reverend fathers and well-learned bishops.
I go, and towards 3 or 4 o'clock, look for the news that the Guildhall affords.
Go, Will, with all speed to Dr. Shaw. Take it.
My lord.
Go about the fire, bid them both meet you within the hour of Baynard's Castle. Now I will end, and to give out some privy order, that no man or person shall have recourse unto the princes. How now, cousin? What say the citizens?
By the Holy Mother of our Lord, the citizens are mum and speak not a word.
Inferred ye the bastardy of Edward's children?
I did, with his contract with Lady Lucy, and his contract by deputy in France, insatiate greediness of his desires and his enforcement of the city wives, his tyranny for trifles, his own bastardy as being God, your father then in France, his resemblance being not like the Duke. Withal, I did infer your lineaments, being the right idea of your father, both in your form and your nobleness of mind, laid open all your victories in Scotland, your discipline in war, wisdom in peace, your bounty, virtue, fair humility, indeed, left nothing fitting for the purpose untouched or slightly handled in discourse. And when mine oratory drew to an end, I bid them that did love their country's good cry, God save Richard, England's royal king!
And did they so?
No. So God help me, they spake not a word, but like dumb statues or breathing stones, gazed each on other, and looked deadly pale, which when I noticed, I reprehended them, and asked the mayor what meant this willful silence. His answer was that the people were not wont to be spoke to but by the recorder. Then he was urged to tell my tale again. Thus saith the Duke, thus hath the Duke inferred, but nothing spake he warrant from himself. When he had done, some followers of mine own at the lower end of the hall hurled up their caps, and some 10 voices cried, Long live King Richard! Thus I took advantage of those few. Thanks, gentle citizens and friends, quoth I. This general applause and loving shout argues your wisdoms and love to Richard. And even here, break off and came away.
What tongueless flocks they were! Would they not speak?
No, by my troth, my lord.
Will not the mayor and his brethren come?
The mayor is here at hand. Intend some fear. Be not you spoke with, but by mighty suit. And look you get a prayer book in your hand, and stand betwixt 2 churchmen. Good, my lord. For on that ground I'll build a holy descant. And be not easily won to our request. Play the maid's part. Still answer nay, and take it.
I go. And if you can plead as well for me as I can say nay for me myself, then no doubt will bring this to a happy issue.
Go up to the lead. The Lord Mayor knocks. Welcome, my lord. I dance attendance here. I think the Duke will not be spoke withal. Here comes his servant. How now, Catesby, what says he?
My lord, he doth entreat your grace to visit him tomorrow or next day. He is within with 2 right reverend fathers, divinely bent to meditation, and no worldly suit would he be moved to draw him from his holy exercise.
Then return, good Catesby, to thy lord again. Tell him myself, the mayor, and citizens, in deep designs of matters of great moment, no less important than our general good, have come to have some conference with his grace.
I'll tell him what you say, my lord.
Aha! My lord, this prince is not an Edward. He is not lolling on a lewd day bed, but on his knees at meditation, not dallying with the brace of courtesans, but meditating with 2 deep divines, not sleeping to engross his idle body, but praying to enrich his watchful soul. How happy were England would this gracious prince take on himself the sovereignty thereof. But sure, I fear we shall ne'er win him to it.
Marry, God forbid his grace should say us nay.
I fear he will. But here comes his servant. How now, Catesby? What says your lord?
My lord, he wonders to what end you have assembled such troops of citizens to speak with him, his grace not being warned thereof before. My lord, he fears you mean no good to him.
Sorry I am. My gracious cousin should suspect me that I mean no good to him. By heaven, I come in perfect love to him. So return once more and tell his grace. When holy and devout religious men are at their beads, 'tis hard to draw them thence. So sweet is zealous contemplation.
Oh, see where he stands, between 2 clergymen.
2 props of virtue for a Christian prince to stay him from the fall of vanity. And see, a book of prayer in his hand. True ornaments to know a holy man. Famous Plantagenet, most gracious prince, lend favorable ears to our request, and pardon us the interruption of thy devotion and right Christian zeal.
Like my lords, I rather do beseech you pardon me, who, earnest in the service of my God, doth neglect the visitation of my friends. But leaving this, what is your grace's pleasure?
Even that, I hope, which pleaseth God above and all good men of this ungoverned isle.
I do suppose I have committed some offense that makes me seem disgracious in the city's eyes, and you have come to reprehend my ignorance?
You have, my lord. Would it might please your grace at our entreaties to amend that fault?
Elsewhere for breathe I, but in a Christian land.
Then no. It is your fault that you resign the supreme seat, the throne majestical, the sceptered office of your ancestors, your stake of fortune and your due birth, the lineal glory of your royal house to the corruption of the blemished stock, whilst in the mildness of your sleepy thoughts, which here we waken to our country's good. This noble isle doth want her proper limbs, her face defaced with scars of infamy, her royal stock cracked with ignoble plants, which, to recure, we heartily solicit your gracious self to take on you the charge and kingly government of this, your land, not as protector, steward, substitute, or lowly factor for another's gain, but as successively from blood to blood, your right of birth, your entry, your own. In this just suit come I to move your grace.
I know not whether to depart in silence, or bitterly to speak in your reproof, best fitteth my degree of your condition. If not to answer, you may happily thank tongue-tied ambition. Not replying, yielded to bear the golden yoke of sovereignty. Definitively thus I answer you. Your love deserves my thanks, but my deserts unmerit for your high request. First, if all obstacles were cut away, and my path were even to the crown, which is my right, revenue, and due by birth. So much is my poverty of spirit, so mighty in so many defects, I had rather hide me from my greatness. God be thanked there is no need of me. The royal tree hath left us royal fruit, which mellowed by the stealing hours of time will no doubt make us happy by his reign, and well become his seat of majesty. On him I lay which you would lay unto me, the right and fortune of his happy stars, which God defend that I should bring from him.
My lord, this argues conscience in your grace, but the respects thereof are nice and trivial, all circumstances well considered. You say that Edward is your brother's son. So say we too, but not by Edward's wife. For first, he was contract to Lady Lucy. Your mother lives a witness to that vow. And afterwards betrothed to Bona, sister to the King of France. These both put by a poor petitioner, a care-crazed mother of many children, a beauty-waning and distressed widow, even in the afternoon of her best days, made prize and purchase of his lustful eye to base declension and low-bed bigamy. By her, in his unlawful bed, he got this Edward, whom our manners term the prince. More bitterly could I expostulate. Save that reverence, or some alive, I give a sparing limit to my tongue. Then, good my lord, take to your royal self this proper benefit of dignity, if not to bless us and the land withal, yet to draw forth your noble ancestry from the corruption of abusing times unto a lineal, true, derived course.
So do, good my lord. Your citizens entreat you.
Refuse not, mighty lord, this proffered love.
Oh, make them joyful, grant their lawful suit.
Why would you enforce me to a world of care? I am not fit for state or majesty. I do beseech you take it not amiss. I cannot, nor I will not yield to you.
If you refuse it, as in love and zeal, loath to depose the child, your brother's son, as well we know your tenderness of heart and gentle, kind, effeminate remorse, which we have noted in you to your kin. Yet whether you accept our suit or no, your brother's son shall never reign our king, but we will plant some other in the throne to the disgrace and downfall of your house. And here, in this resolution, we leave you. Come, citizens, soon! I'll entreat no more.
Cousin of Buckingham, do not swear.
Call them again, my lord, accept their suit. Do, good my lord, was all the land do ruin.
Why would you enforce me to a world of care? Well, call them again. I am not made of stone, but penetrable by your kind entreaty, albeit against my conscience and my soul. My cousin of Buckingham, and you sage grave men, if you will buckle fortune on my back, to bear the burden, whether I will or no, I must have patience to endure the load, which God he knows, and you may partly see how far I am from the desire thereof.
God bless your grace. We see it, and we shall say it.
In saying it, you shall say the truth.
Then I salute you with this kingly title. Long live Richard, England's royal king! Long live King Richard!
Amen!
Tomorrow, will it please you to be crowned?
Even where you please, that you will have it so.
Then tomorrow we wait upon your grace, and so, most joyfully, we take our leave.
Go, gentlemen, let us to the holy task. Farewell, cousin of Buckingham. Farewell, gentle friend.
Who meets us here? My kind daughter, well met.
God give your graces both a happy and joyful time of day.
The same to you, good sister. Whither away?
No further than the tower. And as I guess, upon the like devotion as yourselves to congratulate the gentle princes there.
Kind sister, thanks. We'll enter all together. And in good time, here the lieutenant comes. Master Lieutenant! Pray you. By your leave, how doth my son of York and the young prince?
Right well, dear madam. By your patience, I may not suffer you to visit them. The king hath strictly charged the contrary.
The king? What, who's that?
I cry you mercy, I mean the Lord protect him.
The Lord protect him from that kingly title. Have he set bounds betwixt their love and thee? I am their mother. Who shall bar me from them?
I am their father's mother, and I will see them.
Their aunt I am in law. In love their mother. Then bring me to their sights. I'll bear thy blame and take thy office from me. Be on my peril.
No, madam, no. I may not do so. I am bound by oath, and therefore pardon me.
Let me bemeet you ladies 1 hour hence, and I'll salute your grace of York as mother, reverend the crown of 2 fair queens. Come, madam, you must straight to Westminster, there to be crowned Richard's royal queen.
Cut my lace asunder, that my pent heart might have the scope to beat, also swoon in this dead-killing news.
The spiteful tidings. Oh, unpleasing news.
Be of good cheer. Mother, how fares your grace?
Dorset, speak not to me, get thee hence. Death and destruction dog thee at thy heels. Thy mother's name is ominous to children. If thou wilt outstrip death, go cross the sea and live with Richmond. From the reach of hell, go hide thee from this slaughterhouse. Lest thou increase the number of the dead and make me die a thrall to Margaret's curse, nor mother, wife, nor England's counted queen.
Full of wise care is this your counsel, madam. Take all the swift advantage of the hours. You shall have the letters from me to my son to meet you and welcome you along the way. Be not taken to party by unwise delay.
Oh, ill-deserving wind of misery. My accursed womb, bed of death. Hot capture, cockatrice into the world with unavoided eyes, murderers.
Come, madam, come. I in all haste was sent.
And I, in all unwillingness, will go. I would to God the inclusive verge of golden metal that must round my brow a red hot still to sear me to the brain. Anointed, let me be with deadly venom and die ere men can say, God save the Queen.
Go, go. Poor soul, I envy not thy glory. To feed my humour, wish thyself no harm.
No? Why? When he that is my husband now came to me, as I followed Henry's corpse, when scarce the blood was well washed from his hands that issued from my other angel husband, and that dead saint I then weeping followed. Oh, when I say I looked on Richard's face, this was my wish. Be thou, quoth I, accursed, for making me so young, so old a widow, and when thou wed, let sorrow haunt thy bed, and be thy wife. If any be so mad, as miserable by the life of thee as thou hast made me by my dear Lord's death, lo, ere I can repeat this curse again, even in so short a space, my woman's heart grossly grew captive to his honey words, and which proved the subject of my own soul's curse, which ever since have kept my eyes from rest. For yet not 1 hour in his bed have I enjoyed the golden dew of sleep, but have been waked by his timorous dreams. Besides, he hates me for my father Warwick, and will in no doubt shortly be rid of me.
Heart, adieu, I pity thy complaining.
Oh,
Richard, and good angels guard you. Go without a sanctuary, and good bones possess thee. I to my grave, where peace and rest lie with me. 80 odd years of sorrow have I seen, and each hour's joy wrecked with a week of teen.
Stay, yet look back with me unto the tower. Pity, you ancient stones, those tender babes whom envy hath immured within your walls. Rough cradles for such little pretty ones. Rude, ragged nurse, old sullen playfellow for tender princes. Use my babies well. So foolish sorrows bid thy stones farewell.
Stand all apart, cousin of Buckingham.
My gracious sovereign,
Give me your hand. Thus high by thy advice and thy assistance is King Richard seated. Shall we wear these arms for a day, or shall they last and we rejoice in them?
still live they, and forever may they last.
Buckingham, now do I play the touch to try if your current goals indeed. Young Edward lives. Think what I would say.
Say on, my loving lord.
Why, I say I would be king.
Why, so you are, my thrice-renowned liege.
Am I king? So I am, but Edward lives.
True, noble prince.
Buckingham, wert thou not to be so dull? Shall I be plain? I wish the bastard's dead, and I would see to it suddenly performed. What thinkest thou? Speak suddenly, be brief.
Your grace may do your pleasure.
Tut, thou art all ice, thy kindness freezing. What sayest thou? Do I have thy consent that they should die?
Give me some bread, some little pause, my lord, before I positively answer herein. I will resolve your grace immediately.
The king is angry, see? He bites the lip.
I will converse with iron-witted fools and unrespected boys. None are for me that look into me with considerate eyes. I, Richard Buckingham, hath grown circumspect. Boy,
My lord,
knowest thou any with whom corrupting gold would tempt into a close exploit of death?
my lord, I know a discontented gentleman whose humble means match not his haughty mind. Gold for as good as 20 orators, and will no doubt tempt him to anything.
What is his name?
His name, my lord, is Tyrant.
I partly know the man. Go, send him hither. Deep revolving, witty Buckingham, no more shall lay neighbor to my counsel. Hath he hung with me for so long that now he grows tired and stops for breath? What news?
My lord, I hear Marcus Dorset's fled to Richmond, and those parts beyond the sea where he abides.
Kate,
My lord.
rumored abroad that Anne, my wife, is sick and like to die. I'll look to her keeping close. Look how thou screams! I say again, get out that Anne, my wife, is sick and like to die. About it! It stands me much apart. I must be married to my brother's youngest daughter, or else my kingdom stands on brittle glass. Murder her brothers and then marry her, uncertain way of gain, but I'm so far in blood that sin would pluck up sin. Tearful and pitiful is not in his eye. Is thy name Tyrant?
James Tyrrell, your most obedient subject.
Art thou indeed?
Prove me, my gracious sovereign.
Darest thou resolve to kill a friend of mine?
I am my lord, but I'd rather kill an enemy.
Then thou hast two deep enemies. Foes to my rest and my sweet sleeps disturbed are they that I would have you deal upon. Tyrant, I mean those bastards in the tower.
Let me have open means to come to them, and soon I will rid you from the fear of them.
You sing sweet music. Come hither, Gerald. Go by this token rising in thine ear. There is no more sense. When it is done, turn to cross the place, and I will love thee and prefer thee too.
It is done, my lord.
Shall I hear from you, Tyrrell, ere I sleep?
Ye shall, my lord.
My lord, I have considered in my mind the late demand that you did sound me in.
Well, let that pass. Dorset is fled to Richmond.
I my lord.
Senator, he is your wife's son. Well, look to it.
My lord, I claim your gift, my due by promise, for which your honor and faith is pawned. The earldom of Hereford and the movables the which you promised I should possess.
Senator, look to your wife. If she convey letters to Richmond, you answer her.
What says your highness to my just demand?
As I remember, Henry VI did prophesy that Richmond would be king, and Richmond were a little peevish boy. A king, perhaps.
My lord.
How chance the prophet could not have told me at the time. I be by that I should have killed him.
My lord, your promise for the earldom.
Richmond. When last I was at Exeter, the mayor of Curtsey showed me a castle and called it Rougemont, a name which I started because the bard of Ireland told me I would not live long after I saw Richmond.
My lord.
What's the thought?
I am thus bold to put your grace in mind of what you promised me.
Yes, but what's a clock?
Upon the stroke of 10.
Then let it strike, because that, like a jack, that keeps the stroke, betwixt thy begging and thy meditation. I am not in giving vain.
Why then resolve me whether you will or no.
Tut, I am not in your vain.
Is it even so? Rewards he my true service with such deep contempt? Made I him king for this? Oh, let me think on Hastings, and be gone to Brecknock, while my fearful head is on.
The bloody and tyrannous deed is done. The most arduous, hideous massacre that ever yet this land was guilty of. Dighton and Forrester, I did suborn to do this ruthless piece of butchery, although flesh of villains, bloody dogs, melting with tenderness and kind compassion, wept like true children at their death's sad stories. Lo, thus, quoth Dighton, lay those tender babes. Thus, quoth Forrest, girdling one another with their innocent alabaster arms. Their lips were four red roses on stalk, which, in their summer beauty, kissed each other. Book of prayers on their pillow lay, which once, quoth Forrest, almost stopped me, but oh, the devil! There the villain stopped, whilst Dighton thus continued on. We smothered the most replenishing sweet work of nature that from the prime creation ere she framed. Thus both are gone with conscience and remorse. They could not speak, and so I left them both to bring tidings to the bloody king. And here he comes. All hail my sovereign liege.
Kind, Tyrrell, am I happy in thy news?
To have done the thing which you gave in charge to get your happiness? Be happy then, for it is done, my lord.
Did you see them dead?
I did, my lord.
And buried, gentle Tyrrell?
The chaplain of the tower hath buried them, but how and what place I know not.
Come to me, Tyrrell. Soon after supper. There you shall tell the process of the day. Meantime, think how I may be inheritor of thy desire and do thee good. Farewell to soon. The sons of Edward sleep in Abraham's bosom, and Anne, my wife, hath bid the world good night. For now I know that Bretton Richmond names a young Elizabeth, my brother's daughter, and by that not it's proudly o'er the proud. To her I go, a jolly, thriving wooer.
My lord.
Good news or bad that thou hast come in so bluntly?
Bad news, my lord. Ely is fled to Richmond, and Buckingham, back at the heart of Wellsford, is in the field, and still his power increasing.
Ely with Richmond troubled me more than Buckingham and that rash levied army. Come, muster men. My counsel is my shield. We must be brief when traitors break the field.
So now prosperity begins to mellow and drop into the rotten mouth of death. Here in these confines, slyly have I learnt to watch the waning of mine adversaries. Withdraw me, wretched Margaret, who comes here?
Oh, my tender princess! Oh, my poor maids! If yet your gentle souls fly in the air and be not fixed to do perpetual, hover about me with your airy wings and hear your mother's lamentation.
So many miseries have praised my voice that my low, weary tongue is mute and silence. Edward Plantagenet, why I love death.
Wilt thou, O God, fly from these gentle lands? Throw them to the entrails of the wolf? When didst
foster-born, but I.
If ancient sorrows be most reverent, give mine the benefit of senry and let my woes frown on the upper hand. From forth the kennel of thy womb hath crept a hell one that doth hunt us all to death. That dog that had his teeth before his eyes, to worry lambs and lap their gentle blood that thou, defacer of God's handiwork, thy womb let loose and chase us to our graves.
Oh, Harry's wife, why must thou triumph in my woes? God with me, I have wept for thine.
Bear with me. I am hungry for revenge. That Edward, he is dead, that stabbed my Edward. The other Edward dead to quit my Edward. Young York, he is but boot, because both they match not the high perfection of my loss. Thy Clarence, he is dead, that killed my Edward. And the beholders of this tragic play, the adulterate Hastings, Rivers and Grey, untimely smothered in their dusty graves. Richard yet lives! Hell's black intelligencer! Earth gapes, hell burns, fiends roar, and saints pray to have him suddenly conveyed away. Cancel his bond of life, dear God, I pray, that I may live to say the dog is dead. For thou did prophesy the time should come that I should wish thee to help me curse that bottled spider, thou bunchback toad. I called thee then poor shadow, painted queen, the presentation of motherhood I was, the flattering prelude to a direful pageant, one heaved a high to be hurled down below. A mother only mocked with two sweet babes, a dream of what thou wert, a breath, a bubble, a sign of dignity, a garish flag, to be the aim of every dangerous shot, a queen in jest, only to fill the scene. Where is thy husband now? Where be thy brothers? Where are thy children? Wherein dost thou joy? Who sues to thee and cries, God save the queen? Where be the bent peers that flatter thee? Where be the thronging troops that follow thee? Decline all this and see what now thou art. For happy wife, a most distressed widow. For joyful mother, one that wails the name. For one that scorned at me, now scorned of me. Thus hath the course of justice wheeled about and left thee but a very prey to time, having no more but thoughts of what thou wert, to torture thee the more of being what thou art. Thou didst usurp my place, and dost thou not usurp the just proportion of my sorrow? Now thy proud neck bears half my burdened yoke, from which even here I slip my very neck, relieve the burden of it all on thee. Farewell, York's wife, and queen of sad mischance. These English woes will make me smile in France. Oh, thou well skilled in curses, stay a while, and teach me how to curse my enemies. For bad is slip the nights, and fast the days, compare dead happiness with living woe. Think thy babes were fairer than they were, and he that slew the fallow than he is. Revolving this will teach thee how to curse. My words are dull, will quicken them with thine. Thy woes will make them sharp and fierce like mine.
Why must calamity be so full of words?
Windy attorneys to their clients' woes, or breathing orders of miseries. Let them have scope, but what they do in part help them not at all, if they ease the heart.
Thou be so. Then be thou tongue-tied. Come with me, and let's smother my Denton as he hath smothered thy two sweet sons. You'll be hearing Richard's drums. Be copious in explaining.
Who intercepts my expedition?
Oh, only I, that might have intercepted thee by slaughtering thee in my room from all the slaughters wretched that thou hast done.
Hidest thou that forehead with a golden crown, where should be graven that right for right and slaughter of the prince that owed that crown, and the tired deaths of my two sons and brothers? Tell me, thou villain slave, where are my children?
trumpets, strike alarms, drums. Let not the heavens hear these telltale women rail on the Lord's anointed. Strike, I say! And to have patience, and entreat me fair, or with the clamorous report of war, I will drown your exclamations.
Let me speak.
Do so. I will not.
I have patience for my impatience.
Madam, I have touched your condition and cannot brook the accent of reproof.
I pray thee let me speak.
Do so,
I will be mild and gentle in my speech.
and brief, good mother, for I am in haste.
Thou art in haste. I have come for thee, thou knowest, in pain, agony, and display.
And have I not come at last to comfort you?
No. Thou knowest it not. Thou came to earth to make the earth my hell. Thy birth was a burden to me. Thy infancy tested. Thy school days wild and furious. Thy prime of life desperate, venturesome. Thy age confirmed, bloody, treacherous. Canst thou name 1 hour that graced me in thy company?
If I be so disgracious in your sight, then let me march on and not offend your grace. Strike the drum!
I pray thee, hear me speak.
You speak too quickly.
I will speak but a word, and then I shall never speak to thee again.
So,
If thou should die in the battle that comes, by God's good ordinance, lest thou become conqueror in battle. And I shall die of extreme age and sorrow. I shall never look upon thy face again. Therefore, I give thee my most heavy curse, that in the day of battle weighest on you with more weight than all the complete armor thou wearest. My prayers on the adverse side party lie, where the little souls of Edward's children whisper to the spirits of thine enemies and promise them peace and victory. Bloody thou art, and bloody thou shalt be. Shame surrounds thy life, and will thy death attend.
Though far more cause yet much less spirit to curse abides in me, I say amen to all.
stay, madam. I must speak a word with you.
I have no more sons of the royal blood for thee to murder. For my daughters, Richard, they will be praying nuns, not weeping queens. Therefore, let them not to take their lives.
You have a daughter called Elizabeth, virtuous and fair, royal and gracious.
She must die for this? Oh, let her live, and I'll corrupt her manner. Slander her beauty. Slander myself as false to Edward's bed. Throw over her a veil of infamy, so she may live unscarred by grief and slaughter. I will confess she was not Edward's daughter.
Wrong, not her birth. She is of royal blood.
So she may live, I'll say it is not so.
Her life is safest in her birth.
Only in that safety die the brothers.
Lo, on their birth, good stars were opposite. All unavoided is the doom of destiny.
My babes were destined to a fairer death. If grace had blessed me with a fairer life.
You speak as if I'd slain my cousin.
Cousins, indeed! And by their own cousins, of comfort, kingdom, kindred, freedom, life, whose hands whoever lends their tender hearts, thy hand all indirectly gave direction. No doubt, the murderous knife was dull and blunt till it was whetted on thy stone, hard heart, to revel in the entrails of my lands. My tongue should to thy ears not name my voice, for that my nails be anchored in thine eyes. And I, in a desperate bay of death, like a poor bark with sail and tackling wreck, rush all to pieces on thy back!
So thrive I in my dangerous enterprise and bloody success of war, that I intend more good to you and yours than ever you and yours will buy me wrong.
What? Good. Covered in the face of heaven to be discovered, it do me good.
The advancement of your children, gentle lady.
Up some scaffold there to lose their heads.
No, to the dignity and height of honor, the high imperial I would learn from you, being one best acquainted with her humor.
Wilt thou learn of me?
With all my heart.
Send to her, by he that slew her brothers, a pair of bleeding hawks. Thereon engrave Edward and York, and haply will she weep. Therefore present to her, as sometime Margaret did to thy father's feet in Rutland's blood, a handkerchief, which say to her to drain the purple sap from her sweet brother's body, and bid her dry her weeping eyes withal. If this induce can move her not to love, send to her a letter of thy noble deeds. Tell her thou madest away her uncle Clarence, her uncle Rivers. Aye, for her sake me as quick conveys her good Aunt Anne.
Come, you mock me. This is not the way to win your daughter.
There is no other way, unless thou couldst put on some other shape and not be Richard that had done all this.
Say that I did all of this for love of her.
Nay, for indeed she cannot choose but hate me, having bought love with such a bloody spoil.
Look, what is done cannot now be amended. Men shall deal unadvisedly sometimes, which after hours give leisure to repent. If I did take the kingdom from your sons to make amends, I'll give it to your daughter. If I had killed the issue of your womb, to quicken your increase, I will beget my issue unto your daughter. A grandam's name is little less in love than is the doting title of a mother. They are as children, one step below, even of your metal, of your very blood. All of one pain, save for a night of groans endured for her, which shall be rid like sorrow. Your children were vexation to your youth, but mine shall be a comfort to your age. The loss you have is but the son being keep, and by that loss your daughter is made a queen. What? We have many goodly years to see. The liquid drops of tears that you have shed shall come again, transformed to aureate pearl, advantaging you alone by 10 times double gain of happiness. So go. Then, my mother, to thy daughter go. Make bold her bashful years with your experience. Put in her heart the aspiring flame of golden sovereignty. Acquaint the princess with the sweet silent hours of marriage joy. And when this arm of mine hath chastised that petty dull-brained Buckingham, bound in triumphant garlands I will come, and lead thy daughter to a conqueror's bed, with whom her tale my conquest won, and she shall be sole victress. Caesar, Caesar.
What were I best to say? Her father's brother should be her lord? Or shall I say her uncle? Or he that slew her brothers and her uncles? Under what title shall I rule for thee, that God, the law, my honor, and her love can make seem pleasing to her tender years?
Infer fair England's peace by this alliance.
Which she shall purchase with still lasting war.
Say that the king which may command and treat.
That at her hands which the king's king forbids.
Say that she'll be a high and mighty queen.
To wield the title as her mother doth.
Say that I'll love her everlasting.
But how long shall that title ever last?
Sweetly enforce until her fair life ends.
How long fairly shall the sweet life last?
So long as heaven and nature lengthen.
So long as hell and Richard liken it.
Be eloquent on my behalf to her.
An honest tale speeds best being plainly told.
Then in plain terms tell her my loving tale.
Plain and not honest is too harsh a style.
Your reasons are too shallow, too quick.
Oh no, my reasons are too deep and dead. Too deep and dead. Poor princes in their graves.
Harp not on that string, madam, that is past.
Harp on it still shall I till heartstrings break.
Then by my George, my guards, and my crown.
Profane, dishonored, and the third usurped.
So where I...
By nothing! For this is no hope. Thy George, profane, has lost his lordly honor. Thy garter, blemished, on his knightly virtue. Thy crown, usurped, disgraced his kingly glory. If thou wilt swear by something to be believed, swear then by something that thou hast not wronged.
Then by the world.
'Tis full of thy foul wrongs.
My father's death.
Thy life has that dishonor.
Myself.
Myself misuses.
Then God.
God's wrong is most of all. If thou hadst feared to break an oath by him, the unity, the king of thy brother may not been broken, nor my brother slain. If thou hadst feared to break an oath by him, the imperial medal circling now thy brow had graced the tender temples of my child, and both the princes breathing here, which now, poor playfellows to dust, thy broken faith hath made a prey for worms. What canst thou swear by now?
The time to come.
That thou hast wronged with the time o'erpast. For I myself have many tears to wash hereafter time of times past alongside. The children live. Parents thou hast slaughtered. I govern you to wail in
Conceal not thy light nor light thy breast. Be opposite all planets of good luck to my proceedings, if, with immaculate devotion, holy thoughts, I tender not thy beauteous princely daughter. In her lies your happiness and mine. Without her, this land falls to thee, me, herself, and many a Christian soul. Death, desolation, ruin, and decay cannot be avoided but by this, and it will not be avoided but by this. So go, good love. I must call you so. Be the attorney of my love for her. Be what I will be, not what I have been. Urge the necessity of the state of times, and be not peevish fond in great design.
Shall I be tempted by the devil thus?
If the devil tempts thee to do good,
Shall I forget myself to be myself?
your self-remembrance wrong yourself.
But thou didst kill my children.
But in your daughter's womb I buried them. And in that nest of spicery they shall breed cells of themselves for your recomforture.
Shall I go win my daughter to thy will?
And be a happy mother about the deed.
Here we go. I will write to you very shortly and understand from your need for mine.
And bid to her my true love's kiss. And so farewell. Relenting fool, shallow changing woman. Come now with you.
My gracious sovereign, on the western coast rides the Puissant's navy. To the shore draw many doubtful, hollow-hearted friends, unarmed and unresolved to beat them back. 'Tis thought that Richmond is their admiral, and there they huddle, expecting but the aid of Buckingham to welcome them ashore.
Some my folk friend, go straight to the Duke of Norfolk. Practice thyself, peace be, where is it?
Here, my lord.
Fly to the Duke. Post out the southward. What news?
None good, my lord, to please you with the hearing, nor none so bad that may well be told.
How day, a riddle, neither good nor bad. Why dost thou run so many miles about when you could just tail the tail a near away? What news?
Richmond is on the seas.
There let him sink, and be the seas on him. Why delivered renegade, what doth he there?
I know not, mighty sovereign, but by guess.
But by guess.
Stirred up by Dorset, Buckingham, and Ely, he makes for England there to claim the crown.
Is the chair empty? Is the sword unswayed? Is the king dead? Is the empire unpossessed? Who is England's king but great York's heir, and who is great York's heir but we? What doth he upon the sea?
Alas for that, mighty sovereign, I cannot guess.
Unless he comes to be your liege. You cannot guess wherefore the Welshman comes. That will revolt and flight, I fear.
No, my good lord, therefore mistrust me not.
Where is thy power to beat him back? Where are thy tenants and thy followers? Are they upon the western shore, safe conducting revels from the ships?
No, my good lord, my friends are in the north.
Cold friends, Richard. What do they in the north? They should defend their sovereign in the west.
They have not yet been commanded, mighty sovereign. Pleasing your majesty to give me leave, and I'll muster my friends to meet your grace by word which time your majesty shall please.
Thou wilt fly to Richmond. I will not trust you, sir.
Most mighty sovereign, you have no cause to hold my friendship doubtful. I never was, nor never will be false.
Go. Muster men. But leave behind your son George Steck. Look your faith be firm, lest his head's short is the fray.
So deal with him as I prove true to you.
My gracious sovereign, now in Devonshire, I with my friends and will advertise. Sir Edward Courtney and Matthew Prelate, Bishop of Exeter, his brother there, with many more confederates, are in arms.
My liege, in Kent the Guildfords are in arms, and every hour more competitors flock to their aid, and still their power increaseth.
My lord, the army of the Duke of Buckingham.
Out on you, owls! Nothing but songs of death! Take that till you bring me better news.
The news I have to tell your majesty is that by sudden floods and fall of waters, Buckingham's army is dispersed and scattered, and he himself wandered away alone. No man knows whither.
I cry thee mercy. Here is my purse to throw that blow aside. Tell me, hath any well-advised friend proclaimed a reward for who that brings a traitor in?
Such proclamation has been made, my liege.
Sir Thomas Lovell and Lord Marcus Dorset, to set my liege in Yorkshire are in arms. Yet, this good comfort bring unto your grace. The Breton navy is dispersed by tempest. Richmond in Yorkshire sent on the boat unto the shore to ask those on the banks
about the Buckingham he brought to Salisbury. The rest march on with me.
Sir Christopher, tell Richmond this for me, that in the sty of this most bloody war, my son George Stanley is franked up and whole. If I revolt off those young George's head, the fear of this withholds my present aid. But tell me, where's princely Richmond now?
At Pembroke, or at Hertford West in Wales.
Run it to thy lord, commend me to him. Tell him the queen hath heartily consented he shall espouse Elizabeth her daughter. These letters shall resolve him of my mind. Farewell.
Will not King Richard let me speak with him?
No, my good lord, therefore be patient.
Hastings, and Edward's children, Rivers, Grey, holy King Henry, and thy fair son Edward, they and all that have miscarried by underhand, corrupted, foul injustice, if that your moody, discontented souls do through the clouds behold this present hour, even for revenge, mock my destruction. This is All Souls' Day, fellows, is it not?
It is, my lord.
Why then, All Souls' Day is my body's doomsday. This is the day that in King Edward's time I wish might fall on me when I was found false to his children or his wife's allies. This is the day wherein I wish to fall by the false faith of him that I trusted most. This All Souls' Day, to my fearful soul, is the determined respite of my wrongs. That high all-seer that I dallied with hath turned my vain prayer on my head and given in earnest what I begged in jest. Thus doth he force the swords of wicked men to turn their own points on their masters' bosoms. Now Margaret's curse has fallen upon my head. When he, quoth she, shall split thy heart with sorrow, remember, Margaret was a prophetess. Come, sirs, convey me to the block of shame. Wrong hath but wrong, and blame the due of blame.
Fellows in arms, and most loving friends, bruised underneath the yoke of tyranny, thus far into the bowels of the land have we marched on without impediment. And here receive we from our father Stanley lines of fair comfort and encouragement. The wretched, bloody, and usurping boar, who spoils your summer fields and fruitful vines, swills your warm blood like wine, and makes his trough in your emboweled bosoms. This foul swine lies even now at the center of this isle, near to the town of Leicester. As we learned from Tamworth, thither is but one day's march. In God's name, cheerily on, courageous friends, to reap the harvest of perpetual peace by this one bloody trial of sharp war.
Every man's conscience is 1,000 swords to fight against that blade on the side. I doubt not thy friends will fly to us.
He hath no friends. But who are friends for fear? Which in his greatest need will shrink from them?
All for our vantage. Then in God's name, march. True hope is swift and flies with swallows' wings. Kings it makes gods, and meaner creatures kings. Here we pitch our tent, even here in Baltimore's feet. My lord is Surrey, why dost thou look so sad?
My heart is 10 times lighter than my looks.
My lord Norfolk,
Here, most gracious queen.
we must have none talk, must we not?
You must both give and take, my gracious lord.
Up with the tents there, for here we'll lie tonight. And where tomorrow we'll all one for that. Who have described the number of the foes?
6,000 or 7,000 is our utmost power.
By our battalion more than trebles that account. Besides, the king's name is a tower of strength upon which they, the adverse party, walk. Come, valiant gentlemen, let us survey the vantage of the field. Let's want no discipline, make no delay. Lords, tomorrow is a busy day. The weary sun hath made his golden set. By the bright track of his fiery car gives signal of a goodly day tomorrow. Sir William Brandon, you shall bear my standard. Give me some ink and paper in my tent. and model of our battle, limit each leader to his several charge, and part in just proportion our small strength. The Earl of Pembroke keeps his regiment. Marcus Dorset, bear my good night to him, and by the second hour of the morning, desire the Earl to see me in my tent. And one more thing, Dorset, before thou goest. Where is Lord Stanley quartered? Dost thou know?
Unless I have mistaken his Helensbush, which, well I am sure I have not done so, his regiment lies half a mile at least north from the mighty power of the king.
If without peril it be possible, bear my good night to him also, and give him from me this most needful scroll.
Upon my life, my lord, I'll undertake it. And so may God give you quiet rest tonight.
Good night, Marcus Dorset. Come, gentlemen, let us consult tomorrow's business. Into our tent, the air is bronze and cold. What's the point?
It's supper time, my lord.
I will not accept tonight. Is ink and paper in my arm related to my tent?
It is, my liege, and all things are in readiness.
No. I do like cover. Use careful watch, choose trusty sentinels.
I go, my lord.
Serve the large.
I warrant you, my lord.
Kate,
My lord.
send out a pursuit of arms to Lord Stanley's regiment. Bid him bring his power before sunrise, because the son of George fall into the blind cave of eternal night. Fill me a bowl of wine. Bring me a watch. Saddle white surrey for the field tomorrow, and see that my stays are sound but not too heavy. Right.
My lord.
Sawest thou the melancholy Lord Northumberland?
Thomas, the Earl of Surrey, and himself, much around cockshed time, from troop to troop, went through the army cheering up the soldiers.
So I am satisfied. Bring me a bowl of wine! For I have not the alacrity of spirit nor cheer of mind that I have wont to have set it down. Is ink and paper ready?
It is, my lord.
It is my guard watch, leave me. Correct. About the mid of night, come into my tent and help to arm. Leave me, I say.
Fortune and victory, sit on thy hill.
All comforts the dark night can afford me to thy person, noble father-in-law. Tell me, how fares our mother?
I, thy attorney, bless thee from thy mother who prays continually to Richmond's good. So much for that. The silent hours steal on, and flaky darkness breaks within the heaps. In brief, for so the season bids it be, prepare thy battle early in the morning, and set thy fortune to the arbitrament of bloody strokes and mortal staring war. I, as I may, that which I would I cannot, with best advantage will deceive the hours and aid thee in this doubtful shock of arms. But I may not be too forwardless, being seen thy brother tender George executed in his father's sight. Farewell. The leisure and the fearful time cuts off the ceremonious vows of love and ample interchange of sweet discourse which so long sundered brands should dwell upon. God grant us leisure for these rites of love. Once more, adieu, be valiant, and speed well.
Good lords, conduct him to his regiment. I shall strive to trouble thoughts to take an act, lest latent slumber pease me down tomorrow when I should mount with wings of victory. Once more, good night, kind lords and gentlemen. O thou, whose captain I account myself, look on my forces with a gracious eye, and put into their hands thy bruising irons of wrath, that they may crush down with a heavy fall the usurping helmets of our adversaries. Make us thy ministers of chastisement, that we may praise thee in victory. To thee I do commend my watchful soul, ere I let fall the windows of mine eyes. Sleeping and waking, oh, defend me still.
Oh, let me sit heavy on my soul tomorrow. I who was washed to death in fulsome wine. Poor Clarence, by thy guile betrayed unto death. Tomorrow in battle, think on me and fall thy edgeless sword. Despair and die! And thou, offspring of the house of Lancaster, through the wrong dares of York to pray for thee, good angels guard thy battle. Live and flourish.
Let me sit heavy on thy soul tomorrow. Rivers that dive upon fret, despair and die.
Think upon grave, and let thy soul despair. Awake, and think thou wrongs in Richard's bosom will conquer him. Awake, and win the day.
Bloody and guilty, guiltily awake, and in a bloody battle end thy days. Think on Lord Hastings, despair and die. Quiet, untroubled soul, awake, awake, arm, fight, and conquer for fair England.
Dream on my cousin smothered in the tower.
Let us be led within thy bosom, Richard,
And weigh thee down to ruin, shame, and death. Thy nephew's souls bid thee despair and die.
Sleep, Richmond. Sleep in peace.
And wake in joy.
Good angels guard thee from the boar's annoy. Live and begin a happy race of kings, and words of happy sons bid thee flourish.
Richard, thy wife, that wretched Anne, thy wife, that never slept a quiet hour with thee, now fills thy dreams with perturbations. Tomorrow, in battle, think on me, and fall thy edgeless sword, despair and die. Thy quiet soul, sleep thou, a quiet sleep. Dream of success and happy victory. Thy adversary's wife doth pray for thee.
The last was I that helped thee to the ground. The last was I that felt thy tyranny. Oh, in the battle, think on Buckingham, and in terror die of thy guiltiness. Dream on of bloody deeds and death. Fainting, despair, despairing, yield thy breath. I died for hope, ere I could lend thee aid. But cheer thy heart, and be thou not dismayed. God and good angel fight on Richmond's side, and Richard falls in height of all his pride.
Give me another horse! Bind up my wound! Have mercy, Jesus. Soft I did retreat. O coward of conscience, how thou dost afflict me. The lights burn blue. It is dead midnight. Cold, fearful drops stand on my trembling flesh. But what do I fear? Myself. There's none else by. Richard loves Richard. That is, I am I. Is there a murder here? No? Yes, I am. Then fly. What from myself? Great reason why. Unless I revenge, put myself upon myself. Unless I love myself. Therefore, for any good that I myself have done unto myself, I like I'd rather hate myself. The hateful deeds committed by myself. I am a villain, but I lie I am not. Fool of thyself, speak well. Fool, do not flatter. My conscience hath a several thousand tongue, and every tongue a several tail, and every tail condemns me for a villain. Perjury in the highest degree. Murder, stern murder in the direst degree. All several sins, all use in each degree, throng to the bar, crying, guilty, guilty. I should despair. There is no creature that loves me. If I die, no fool shall pity me. But what should they? And I myself find in myself no pity to myself. Methought that all the souls of those that I had murdered come into my tent, and every one did threat tomorrow's vengeance on the head of Richard.
My lord.
Who is there?
Rector, my lord, 'tis I. The early village cock hath twice done salutations in the morn. Your friends are up and buckle on their armor.
Rector, I have treated fearful tree. What thinkest thou? Will our friends prove true?
No doubt, my lord.
I fear the day.
Good, my lord. Be not afraid of shadows.
Shadows tonight have struck more terror in the heart of Richard than can the substance of 10,000 soldiers armed and proven, led by shallow Richard. It is not yet near day. Come, under my tent. I'll play eavesdropper to see if any mean to shrink from me.
Good morrow, Richmond. Cry mercy, lords and watchful gentlemen, that you obtain the tardy slugger here.
How you slept, my lord?
Sweetest sleep, and fairest boding dreams that e'er entered your drowsy head, have I since your departure had, my lords. Methought their souls, whose bodies Richard murdered, came into my tent and cried on victory. I promise you my soul is very jolly in remembrance of so fair a dream. Tell me, how Barnes in the morning is? Upon the stroke before. Why then, 'tis time to arm and give direction. More than I have said, loving countrymen, the leisure and enforcement of time forbids to dwell on. Yet remember this, God and our good cause fight on our side. The prayers of holy saints and wronged souls, like hybrid bulwarks, stand before our faces. Richard except, those whom we fight against had rather have us win than him they follow. For what is he they follow? Truly, gentlemen, a bloody tyrant and a homicide. One raised in blood and one in blood established. One who made means to come by what he had and slaughtered those who were the means to help him. A base, foul stone, made precious by the foil of England's share where she is falsely set. One that had ever been God's enemy. Then if you fight against God's enemy, God will in justice ward you as his soldiers. If you do sweat to put a tyrant down, you sleep in peace, the tyrant being slain. If you do fight in safeguard of your wives shall welcome home conquerors. If you do free your children from the sword, get your children's children quitted in their age. In the name of God and all these rights, advance your standards, draw your willing swords. For me, the ransom of my bold attempt shall be this cold corpse upon the earth's cold face. But if I should thrive, the gain of my attempt, the least of you shall share his part thereof. Sound drums and trumpets, boldly and cheerfully. God and St. George, Richmond and victory!
Who saw the sun today?
Not I, my lord.
And he disdains the shun. But by the book he should have braved the east an hour ago. Correct. The sun will not be seen today. The sky will frown and lower upon our all. Not shine today? Why, what does that say to me more than to Richmond? Self-made heaven frowns upon us, but sadly upon him.
Arm! Arm! Arm, my lord, the foe bonds in the field.
Bustle, prepare to my horse. Call up George Stanley, bid him bring his powder. Go, gentlemen, every man into the charge. Let not our battling souls affright our dreams. Conscience is but a word that cowards use, devised at first to keep the strong in awe. Our strong arms be our conscience, swords are law. March on, join bravely. Let us to pell mell, if not to heaven, and hand to hell. What say George Stanley? Will he bring his powder?
My lord, he doth deny to come.
Off with his son's head!
My lord, the Indians passed the march after the battle that George Stanley died.
1,000 hearts beat great within my bosom. Advance our standards, set upon our foes, our fair St. George, our ancient word of courage. Inspire us with the spleen of fiery dragons. Upon them! Victory sets on our heavens!
eyebrows withal. Wear it, enjoy it, and make much of it!
Great God of heaven, say amen to all! But tell me, is George standing living?
Yes, my lord, and safe in Leicester town, whither if it please you, we may now withdraw us.
Proclaim a pardon to the soldiers fled, that in submission will return to us. We will unite, the white rose and the red. Smile heaven upon this fair conjunction. What traitor hears me and says not amen? England hath long been mad and scarred herself. The brother blindly shed the brother's blood. The father rashly slaughtered his own son. The son, compelled, been butchered for the sire. All this divided York and Lancaster. Oh, now, let Richmond and Elizabeth, the true succeeders of each royal house, by God's fair ordinance conjoined together, and let their heirs, God, if thy will be so, enrich the time to come with smooth-faced peace. Oh, now civil wounds are stopped, and peace lives again, that she may long live here. God say, amen!
Get it off?
Yes.